Welcome to the Grandma Next Door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 46 of the Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host Chris Green. Sitting next to me is the lovely and glorious Sarah.
Hi.
Well, we actually, this is a 100% Strut Your Mutt 2014 edition. So let me start off by saying there is going to be no talk about work this week.
Nope.
Just all about Strut Your Mutt and everything that happened at the event.
Chris and I kind of went off in our separate directions. We're not the type that are connected at the hip.
Right.
I don't have to have him around. He doesn't have to have me around. We're now just the type of people that, okay, love you, you go do your own thing. You know, you say you love you, go do your own thing. And eventually we'll meet somewhere and give each other a hug and then go off and do our own thing again. That's pretty much how how Saturday went.
That's how a lot of our things go. We are able to actually branch out and mingle with everybody. That way, with both of us being out and about, we're able to, counter everything and be able to meet everybody. And it's not
we're not one of those couples that have to have each other. See, we're not antisocial, so we don't have to have that person sitting next to us the whole time, so we don't feel like loners. At one point in time, it might have been that way.
Yeah, I was like that for a while there. I was definitely that.
Kind of like where we come from. You really can't trust anybody, so you really need that person next to you. So, but here, it was just so much fun. You know, he went off and did his thing. Craig and I did our thing, and then Craig went off to do his thing, and luckily Craig was there with us. I don't know if I could have done all that I was able to do without him.
Well, let's start out by explaining to everybody. All right, Strut Your Mutt is a yearly event right here in Rolla, Missouri. I know that there's other Strut Your Mutts around, but we're only speaking about the one right here, put together by Phelps County Animal Welfare League.
It's their biggest fundraiser of the year.
It is.
They really need this, and the board members and the volunteers have made things so much more fun to be there. It's not a stale environment.
Very much, very true.
I know a lot of people think, well, you have dogs there, how could it be stale? Well, it really can be. It really takes everybody to pull the owners of the dogs out of their shell and get them, mingling amongst people that they don't know.
Right.
Because there might be a lot of folks there that don't know each other. There might be a lot of folks that know each other.
Right.
So you got to try to bring them together and bring them in as one, because everybody's there for one common purpose: to help the animals that need their help in our community.
And of course, you're able to bring your dog out and you're able to interact with other dog owners, and it becomes a big social event. So, start out with yesterday morning. We drove over to Shadowwood to pick up a couple things for the event.
We had to pick up the table.
Yep.
Which,
okay, now let's mention what the table we're talking about, though.
It's just a standard grooming table.
Exactly.
And an arm to go on it so we can make sure the dogs stay safe on our table.
So it's not just a regular card table.
No.
It's an actual groomer's table.
And we needed Craig's help, and Craig was volunteering for moving the stuff over.
Yes, he was not prepared to stay.
No, I was like, if you want to stay, that would be great, but if not, it's okay, I understand. Because a large crowd can get overwhelming.
Yeah, and of course, for people like us, we are social butterflies. So a large crowd just means more people to entertain, which, in my spot, I love to entertain. So it is great to have the more people, the more spotlight around, the more I excel. So, and I know a lot of people aren't like that. So
we got the table, we got the arm. Thank you, Craig, very much. We wouldn't be able to do this without you.
You rocked it.
Yeah. If he wasn't there to take the table back too, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So we got our nail trimmer, our quick stop, just in case things happen. Bags of dog food for free, little sample bags for dog food. Had quite a few of that out. But, sorry folks, I'm not sure if I'm battling a cold or a bad allergy attack. I'm very clogged up and my voice isn't coming across very loudly. It's quite deep right now, and it's bothering me. I'm a female. I shouldn't have a deep voice.
And I'm looking over here at the actual audibles that are on the actual screen. I'm going, you gotta raise your voice, gotta raise your voice.
And it gets kind of hard because then I have to stop and, you know, readjust my whole sinus issue. And
So, we got everybody together, we met up, we got everybody down there, we brought Claire with us.
Yep.
And we drove down to Burwan Park. We were right there almost around 9 o'clock. It was just about 9 o'clock when we got there. And we set up shop. We were right there. For example, I'm just going to kind of make this a little easy on some people. If you're curious about what yesterday was all about, we actually did a VODcast. Now, I mentioned it in the previous episode. A VODcast is a video podcast. I actually put together an actual video. It is available on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. Take a look at the Groomer Next Door. It'll actually say Strut Your Mutt 2014 on it. That's the video. It is an actual movie of yesterday's events. So if you're curious, what really went on? I'm only listening to these people tell me a story. Well, you can go on YouTube and you can see it. And of course, like every other thing we do, it's free.
Exactly.
So it's like, how hard is that in a price? You know, it's not an introductory offer. This only will be, hey, your volume's up on your phone again.
Sorry. And it's nothing great. Nobody's texting me. It's just one of my daughter's, or Claire's, games going off saying, come play
And trust
with
me, folks, when I was putting together the video that you'll see on our YouTube channel, every time I'm trying to produce the music for it, something would mess up my actual recording, so I'd have to restart. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. All right, so bless you. We get over to we get it set up, and
we got a great little spot. And what our part was in this event was to do nail trims.
Well, no. I actually had to take a time out on that. It was actually for you to do nail trims and for me to, I guess, entertain the masses, but we had a great MC, though.
Oh, yes, definitely. So
Glennda was a phenomenal MC.
When we got there, we set up our table. I taped up the sign that says Shadowwood Pet Resort, $5 nail trim.
Which was an awesome sign that you made.
And it says, help support PCAWL.
Right. With an orange ribbon for fight animal abuse?
Yes, orange ribbon on there, glued to the sign, you know, helping everybody realize, you know, we do not stand for animal abuse. We do not allow animal hoarding. We'll do everything we can to make sure that pet is taken care of. And I've done that at my work. You know, there's some times where dog's not being taken care of. I try to call the Humane Society when we're out in California. I said, look, this is the third time this dog's came in. It's matted head to toe. It's taken me 3 hours just to get through the mats. What can I do? And the Humane Society tells me, well, there's nothing you can do. This guy's trying to get taken care of and having it shaved down. So obviously right now you're shaving it down. You're taking care of it. They're paying for it. So they're trying to correct the problem. But he comes in every year like this. And they're like, well, every year he's trying to correct the problem. I mean, it was just a ring of horrible stuff. So we put the ribbon up there. And then one of, I believe it's Glenda's son.
Yes.
Came over and anchored the sign because it kept flying up. It was a windy day.
Did you really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It kept flying up. I'm like, oh no. I just see a dog coming by. It flies up and rips right down. This sign was not easy to make, folks. I was going to paint this really pretty paint on it, and then I realized I can't freehand. And I tried to do a practice run with a stencil, and it just bled through the outside of the stencil. I was like, oh no. My mom pops up. She's like, hey, can you use these 4 Sharpies? And it was green, black, red, and gold. It just so happened to be just the perfect setting to put Shadowwood in green, $5 nail trims in black, help, you know, support in red, and then the call in gold. And then I added some glitter paint to it. So it took me hours to do that. that sign.
It did take you a long time. It was
I had to measure out the letters. I had to make sure they were somewhat straight, somewhat even. And I'm not an artist, folks. This stuff doesn't come naturally to me.
You actually knocked it out the park. There's no way around it. And of course, like I said, you guys can see all the video and the whole story of it all on the VODcast. And there's an actual spot where you'll be able to see the sign itself. So you don't have to take our word for it.
So Craig was there to man the booth when, or the table to do the nail trims that came in, while I had to go and do other things. And every time I walked away for just a minute, there was a dog on that table that Craig had to do the nail trims. And then there was countless times where Craig and I were both on the ground in the grass area and had to do nail trims while we were squat down or sat down and dogs running around. Luckily, the owners of the dogs were so nice to kind of hold the dogs still for us. But that was great. And then you were everywhere.
I was everywhere. I was first commissioned to actually just do judging. I wasn't aware of what that was going to entail. All the PCAWL members were working in all kinds of avenues. I guess Glennda probably knows that I love the spotlight and I'm an exhibitionist or an attention whore. Either one of those would fit me perfect.
Language.
Well, I am what I call it. But anyways.
Attention, Nazi.
That too. So anyways, I was aware that I would do some judging. I didn't know exactly what. All the judging, all the games event, I was, called in to judge, which I ended up having Glenda's son come and join me. Because I'll be honest, when I was a kid, if somebody else would have been like, hey, come on and join me, and I've been like, that is just so cool. So
some of those pictures were awesome. Glenda's son's, handles on his chin, thinking about it, and Chris was kind of thinking about it, pose. It was great. He was adorable.
He was awesome.
I was at the booth, so I wasn't able to be there to see, but I got to relive it in photos.
Right.
And it was adorable, and Glennda was pretty happy that we did that. But
we would get together.
You did that.
We would get together afterwards, after we went through all the dogs, and I'd say, "So what do you think?" And he would give me his opinion, and his opinion was the number one opinion. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, "We're doing it this way." Some dogs I actually chose. I was like, "No, we're gonna go with this dog over that dog," just because there were certain aspects that actually made them more of a higher grade and first, second, third kind of placing. Obviously, I'm very partial to dogs that are adopted or rescued or service dogs. So I'm going to give you a little bit more points when you actually have that. But
people are getting serious.
There was some real serious, at the beginning. We were measuring the smallest dog, and no, my dog's smaller than that. It's like, look, I'm measuring from shoulder to ground here, and I would be showing them what it was.
It's just fun stuff.
It was for fun, and there was a little bit of that at the beginning, but you're coming out. It's a fun event.
Sorry.
So you just you'd enjoy yourself.
So what all competitions did you do?
I don't remember. There was, I think, 6 or 8 different competitions that we were judging. As well as I led the dog walk yesterday.
Correction, Claire.
Okay.
Led the
okay.
dog
Again, just like I guess a lot of parents, you kind of realize once you become a parent, just the magnitude you have as a parent to give that rein to a child. I was asked to go and lead the walk. Now the walk is a 2.5-mile walk around Burwan Park. And all dog owners are encouraged to take their dog on this walk. Well, I was to lead the walk. Well, of course, I tell our daughter, nope, you are the line leader, because she loves to be the line leader in school. So I'm like, you're the line leader, you lead the walk. So she led the walk, and she just thought that was the most amazing thing ever. Had a great conversation on the walk with different people. It was an amazing 2.5 miles, and probably the most walking I've done, I don't know how many years.
Yeah, it was funny. Claire came running up to me, Mommy, I was the line leader. And of course, I had to stay back to do what, the nail trims of people that didn't do the line walk, or the walk. And she just sweat.
Oh my gosh, it was, yeah.
Face is bright red. She goes running up to me and says, "Mommy, I was the line leader. Look how many people I led." It was awesome.
It was awesome. It was definitely awesome. And in the actual VODcast, there is a picture of her leading the walk. I personally took this video, on a side note, on the video, when you watch it, everything about that video was inspired to her. Everything we do is inspired by Claire. So you'll pretty much pick up the nuances of what I actually used of Claire, of what made me think of Claire. Now, all music, I have to actually go and get the music for everything. Nothing is on my iTunes. I wish it was that easy. The video itself took quite a few hours to actually put together, but I'm just glad it's up and it's available for everybody to listen to and watch and enjoy and relive Strut Your Mutt 2014.
Yeah, when you were doing your own thing, getting the video or whatnot, or some of the interviews that we're going to have later, within just a few minutes of setting up, we already had our first nail trim. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. And at one point, we had a line going of like 4 or 5 dogs deep. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And Craig was kind of petting the dog's head. I'm doing the nail trims, and one of the owners, they look down, and I'm trimming black nails. They're like, how do you do that? Because I'm like, snip, 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 snip. Well, to an untrained eye, a black nail is just that, a solid black nail. Well, to me, since I've been doing millions of nails, it feels like.
You have been doing millions of nails.
And, for 10 years, 5 days a week, 6 dogs to 8 dogs a day. And then when I was a bather, I was doing about 15 dogs a day. You learn what part is actual black, what's kind of black, and what's actually really dark yellow, or dark brown. So you know where to cut. And I got to do a couple demonstrations myself on the nail trim. So showing the owners, I was like, you see this part? Don't clip past this part. And then I said, see this? That's when you learn to stop clipping the nails. And it was amazing. We were able to raise $60 on nail trims alone. And then I had Chris print out 2 gift certificates for the silent auction, and they were worth up to $35 a piece, and we brought in $50 on that alone. And what's great is one of our customers bought it.
Yeah, she bought it.
She was like, I'm not gonna let this go. Are you kidding me?
Actually, it's funny because she's right behind me. The ones who bought it are right behind me on the dog walk. So in the video, they're right there. I mean, how ironic was that, right?
Right. They're like, I am not gonna let this go. I'm sorry, but it kind of gave Craig a boost too, because they're actually Craig's dog. It's actually Craig's pup that he does the D-shed on, and all I do on the dog is the coloring. And they asked, is there any way to transfer this $65 worth of credit to coloring? I'm like, heck yeah, we can do that whatever you want. We'll do it for you.
That's why it's $60 or $70.
Huh?
70, 35 and 35.
Oh yeah, whoops.
No worries.
My count. Remember, folks, I'm sick.
It's true. Yeah, I mean,
Once
why
we
not?
Once we were done, they came over and we were planning their Christmas coloring.
Yep.
And Bella's going to be in the Christmas parade just like she was in the
St.
Pat's parade, and she was colored up for St. Pat's parade. So we're already getting scheming going for Christmas.
Oh no, we've been scheming for Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving.
We have some really cool stuff coming up.
We have a lot going on that, but that's to do with work. This is all Strut Your Mutt.
So it was kind of fun. I'm like, okay, so now I'm thinking about what can I do? What can I do? We haven't gotten the numbers on how much they raised altogether.
I won't know until the next meeting, but I'm pretty sure they did pretty good.
Awesome.
I'm actually, as you're doing that, I'm actually putting up the video to everybody right now.
Okay,
So
well,
obviously, you know, as we're talking, as we're doing this, I'm multitasking. I am now launching the actual VODcast. Now, of course, we record on Sunday. The actual podcast comes out on Monday. So, you know, it's a matter of a day difference from when you're hearing it, and you're about to hear a siren, because we are sitting at the Giddy Goat, having a good cup of coffee.
excellent. Blended.
Excellent cup of coffee.
White hazelnut frozen drink.
And trust me, after all the editing and putting everything together, I definitely could use a little bit of time outside. Boy, that sounds like a few of them. So anyways, let me actually segue into our interview process here. First interview is a Mike Kalin, and I'm just going to stop because of the sirens and let you guys hear this. Well, we're going to start off with Strut Your Mutt, and who am I standing next to?
Mike Kalin, owner of Canine Academy Dog Training.
Okay, tell me what you do.
I help people train their dogs. So it's not that I specifically train the dogs, I'm helping the owner train their dog.
Well, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? All right, well, tell me in, you know, any way of detail, just tell me all about you. How did you get started? How did all this become? Everything.
Okay, basically I start off when I was like a kid around 15 years old. My parents decided that I was going to be the one that trained the family dogs. So I actually went to obedience classes. So that kind of got me started a little bit. But then later in college, went down to Missouri, Springfield, and found a dog on the street. She happened to be actually a pretty awesome dog. And that actually got me started into doing some AKC obedience trial work with her. Did that for several years. Then we moved to Rolla here, and that's actually where I met my wife. Anyway, so I decided to do some training with just some small classes because I was actually working at a veterinary clinic at the time to start off with a puppy class. That puppy class did very well. Then that transitioned into doing some advanced classes as well. So that's where I'm at, still just doing 3 levels. My class, my beginning obedience, advanced, and then the puppy class as well. And I also do some private lessons as well. So.
Good to know. All right, and for anybody that's listening, how do they get in contact with you?
Several ways. You can actually look me up on Facebook with K-9 Academy Dog Training. That's one way to find me. Of course, calling me at 573-578-8786, or you can text that as well because it's my mobile device. Or you can email me at mike@k-9academydogtraining.com.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun talking to Mike. He was completely caught off guard. And
They're always caught off guard.
it is the greatest thing, and I always kind of joke off air about this. Every time I catch somebody for the first time to do this podcast, it's the best way of explaining when you record this. Imagine being a kid. You're a kid and you're playing this fake reporter game type thing where you have a fake microphone in your hand and you're playing this stupid, goofy little game. Well, that's what this is, but real. So it's really comical to actually do it. And then you actually get the people who, for the first time, have a microphone up to them. And you know what? I already know there is somebody coming up in the interviews who is listening right now who is going, oh gosh, oh no,
Mine's
oh no.
coming up.
Mine's coming up, oh no. It's a lot of fun. And, you know,
the way I get around it is like, nobody's going to listen to us.
And, you know,
we're doing this just to do it. We're not. Nobody's listening to us.
Nobody's gonna listen to a show. No, nobody cares about what we're doing. No.
I put the 4,000 views or 5,000 views out of my head, and no one's gonna listen.
I think it's all really funny, but you know, again, you know, we've been doing this for quite a few episodes, so I think we're kind of used to having a microphone up to us. Every week we have a microphone on us, so it's a little easier. But you catch somebody who's never done it before, and they're going, "What am I doing?" I have to clarify for Mike. This is you know, off. He completely was like, I can't believe I said that. So in a correction, in Mike's defense, Mike met his wife in Springfield, Missouri, not Raleigh.
That's so easy to do.
I completely understand you panic. I know exactly.
I say I met you in Placentia when I actually met you out in Costa Mesa.
That's
you
true.
know.
But, you know, it's one of those things. You're not used to having a microphone up to you. I mean, I was a little on edge last week when having, you know, Eddie filming while we're doing the podcast.
I am happy that first set of podcasts just went out the window. It was a lost episode.
Yeah, it was a lost episode.
Episode to us.
Lost to rebuild, yes, thank God. Last weekend we had to re-record, as we had mentioned. So
I had to string you. I had to pull you
you
along.
kind of carried me through that one because I was just like, I'm completely lost here. But you know, it's fun. You are able to actually talk to everybody, and they get an opportunity to do this, and they're completely lost by it, and then afterwards.
What's very nice too is that in this area we have 2 dog trainers that really shouldn't be called dog trainers because, like Mike said, Jessie doesn't do this either. Jessie doesn't train the dogs for the owners. She trains the owners to train the dog.
Right.
So, you know, there are places where you can send your dog out to be trained, but if you don't know how to continue the training, because it's constant.
It is.
You know, even with my grooming, I go and I train myself. I go and make sure I correct, or I ask other people for their input and then categorize it in my head. Training never stops.
Well, if you think about it, look at every pro sport. Every pro sport. Those guys have been playing sports for years, decades. Look at these guys who are still playing. They're future Hall of Famers. The moment they retire, their numbers retired. They're going in the Hall of Fame. Every day they practice. There is no such thing as a master.
You know, they go to training camp.
That's it. I understand it's a conditioning, but still, they're not perfect.
I mean, if they were, they want to have coaches.
That's right.
So they're basically the coach to this dog training part. And as they go through, help your dog. And since they can't speak dog, they can only speak English, unless you're in other parts and they're bilingual or whatnot. But it is so important to hear what the trainer's saying and try your hardest to reenact it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's actually very important to go through more than just a puppy training course. You really need to go to the intermediate course to really understand how to handle your pet, especially if you want your pet to be a good boy or girl when you're out on the walk.
Right.
Or when they're out in their yard going to the bathroom, or when they're in your house, so they're not tearing stuff up.
Right.
So definitely, he gave his information. If you want more of his information, just let us know. We have it. But definitely his wife was quite neat too.
His wife was enjoying every minute that I had him on the ropes. Yeah.
And his wife came over to me at the end and she goes, "I gotta talk to you about something." I'm like, "What's up?" She goes, "Have you ever heard of?" I forgot the name of it, but they're nail wraps for dogs. I'm like, "What?" Nail wraps? She goes, "Yeah, come over here, look at this." So she took the golden retriever out and I saw the paw, and it was these really cool wraps on the nails. And it's 110 times better than painting the nails. It looks better than trying to paint nails on a wiggly dog. She says it takes but a second to put it on. You don't have to worry about smudging or making sure you get it dry, or not putting nail polish on the coat. I was like, hey. So she's going to be sending me a sample sheet, and I'm going to test it out and see how that is, and maybe invest into that versus nail polish.
Well, there you go. All right, well, let's move on to our next, because we got quite a few interviews to go through. We are going to actually speak with the famous, and she's going, oh no, the famous April Springer.
It was so awesome to finally meet her and her man. Oh my gosh.
And her other man.
Yes, her four-legged man.
There you go. For starters, her actual man, her two-legged, is way too cool. I can't hang. You know, I'm just not that cool. And of course, her four-legged man, again, way too cool. I couldn't hang with him either. So It was one of those sad things.
I'm
a lonely podcaster, that's all.
We finally got to meet the legendary Lego.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this dog is so flippin' cool.
Let's dive into the interview. Let's get her off of the hot seat, because she's been sitting here listening to this podcast and she's just dreading this moment. So I do have to say thank you. I know you're shy, and I know you're saying, I can't believe you got me to do it. But
you knew it was going to happen.
You did.
You knew. You had to know this was going to happen.
Oh, she knew.
We're not going to talk about you all the time and then
not put you on. Right.
Interview.
Okay, and I promise you, the next time you come on the show, you will do much better. Everybody does. All right. Enjoy April Sprainer. All right. Well, I am sitting here with the famous April that you've heard of in many different episodes, and now we're actually going to sit and talk to you. So, go ahead. I usually just stand. I'm good. Here's the mic. Tell us all about yourself.
Hi, my name's April. I am a large pit bull advocate, and I run Lego's page. He is the breed ambassador for St. James, and today we are here selling flowers for PCAWL. 100% of profits goes to them.
It's not that easy, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not that easy doing this show. You pretty much are talking to air. You look like you're a kid just playing a game, I know. As you listen to the show every week, you see how hard it is now. So how long have you been an advocate for pit bulls?
Probably only about 8 months now.
Okay. Now you're...
I've never had a problem with them before, but actually stepping up and fighting the fight.
Cool. Yeah, I think you've been doing this as long as I've been doing this.
Yeah.
So how did you get started?
Adopting Lego and living in a town that has BSL.
Which is annoying. Now, would you like to tell everybody what that means?
BSL is breed-specific legislation. That is rules and laws that towns can put on what breed of dog you own. And pit bulls are the main target right now, and that's unfortunate.
It is. It's like that in other states as well, like Colorado. They have one as well. One of our previous guests, Rena, she had a pit bull, and she had to actually leave it in California because she couldn't take it to Colorado, which is weird. So, anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, I don't think so.
It's not that easy doing this, is it?
Yes.
This is not an easy thing to do, is it?
Yes, just, I guess, get a hold of your senators and stuff and learn a little bit about the breed before you make judgments.
Very true. Well, thank you very much. Oh, boy, what a great interview. I mean, seriously. I will go out and say #1 interview of the show. Love it. Of all time. Yes. April, you win. Best interview. I had more fun with that one than I have anyone else.
What's great about April is that she's taken her time and effort into educating people about the pit bull breeds and the pit bull type dogs. Realizing that if you don't get involved, if people who are pit bull lovers don't start standing up for the breed that you love the most, the higher ups are just going to run rampant.
True.
You know, your senators are just going to say, hey, I heard another story about this happening. Let's push this through. Nobody's going to say anything about it. No one's going to say boo about it.
Right.
It's get up there, do something, or this breed's going to go completely extinct.
Well, that's true. And I mean, she is really knowledgeable in this area, and I'm picking on her right now through Facebook messaging. As we're doing this, as we're recording, I'm picking on her right now. You know what? Honestly, she has so much information, and you know what? I'm going to give her a little bit of a backing on this. It is not easy to just start talking on a recording device out of nowhere. It's ridiculous.
And what was great, with her being there at Strut Your Mutt, they brought in quite a bit of money.
They did really well.
I did not think you can bring that much money in selling flowers. And it wasn't flowers that were cut and wrapped up nicely and handed out. No, these were blooms that you actually go and plant and wait for them to finally bloom.
Right.
Bulbs, I think they called it. I can't remember the actual term. Sorry, April. But what was great too is at her booth was a whole bunch of literature about the breed, you know, what to do. It was amazing, all that work that they did. And I saw this one little lady in her scooter. Her whole scooter was just bogged down with flowers.
I saw her.
I thought that was amazing. That was great. And we got to finally meet Lego.
Yes.
Oh, he is as gorgeous as he is in the pictures. I mean, just stunning brindle. Oh, he's gorgeous. Such a good boy. And food motivated.
Yes, which is just, sounds like me.
He would rather go get a snack that's on the table versus coming and say hi to us.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
But there was a lot going on that day anyways. But, I mean...
It was a great interview no matter what. I'm picking on you, and I'm just picking on you. You did great. It's just one of those fun little things.
Unless you got her toe wet, and the next time will be better. But...
Yeah, well, okay, here's another thing I have to always say. Once you do it, you'll want to come back and do it again. Everybody has the same way.
Because they think, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. Keith was the same way. He goes, man, I should have
re-record it. No, I don't pull things down.
Oh, man, I should have said this better. Or, oh, I forgot to mention about this.
John does it all the time. He'll do an episode and say, I should have done that. I should have said that. Well, when you come back the next time. I mean, I thought that with going to Rolla Animal Shelter, I thought it was a one-time thing. And then to come find out that, you know, we do it every season. I thought, oh, he's never going to do this again. I mean, but, you know, he does. All right. Well, thank you, April.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution. I mean, honestly, the amount of money you pulled in, you might have thought it was not very much.
I thought you did
well.
But
it was fantastic.
Oh, I think so.
I mean, just any little bit to help these folks is great. You know, what's nice about PCAWL is that you want to help them. You know, Glennda is just so nice and funny, sarcastic.
Yep.
It's like, yes.
She's still on the couch where I have not been able to stay on the couch. We vowed that after we were done yesterday, it was going to be nothing but couch until we have to go back to work. She's still on the couch watching football, and here I am recording a podcast.
And what's great, eventually I'll learn everybody's name, but the ones that I can remember, I'm so sorry, I can't remember all of your guys' name. I know what you look like. I know your parts in the board. I just can't get your names down just yet. But Debbie.
Well, we're going to get to her in a little bit.
You interviewed her too?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've got everybody that we could possibly get. We have a lot to cover.
All right.
All right, let's move on now. This is going to be probably next week. We will do a full episode on this. So I'm not going to do a lot of talking because we're going to do it in our next episode. But we met two lovely ladies from Missouri Lost and Found Paws. And I'm just going to kind of cut here, let them do the talking. And then next week when we do our podcast on it, then we can do more. So I'm going to stop you. We are sitting here with Missouri Lost and Found Paws. You have a great organization. Tell us all about it.
Sure. We're a social media-based organization. We're 100% volunteer. We started about 3 years ago, and our purpose is quite simple. It's just to get lost and found animals home. We focus on educating people on the different things that you have to do to get the word out about your missing or found pet. Unfortunately, with the technological age growing and growing, there's several places you have to post the information to. And so our goal is to really help people and arm them with the information of what to do, because you don't think about it until the day that your pet goes missing, and then it's panic time, because you're terrified as to where your pet is. So,
what do you recommend any pet owner, mostly dog obviously, but what do you recommend any dog owner does to try to prevent from this happening?
Sure. I mean, accidents will always happen, so we can't, you can't always prevent everything, but we do recommend microchipping. Microchipping is a great way to always ensure that if your pet ends up at a shelter or with someone, you can go to a vet clinic and get them scanned. It's a very easy thing. I'm sure in the Rolla community there's probably microchipping opportunities too. Having current tags that are clear, a lot of times the tags will fade, and so making sure that you replace those tags. And nowadays, even if you have a dog who tears the tags off or chews them off, there's great alternatives for that, where there's embroidered collars you can order online. There's even collars where the tag kind of fits differently on the collar. Really monitor your pet when they're outside. That's really important because sometimes lawn companies come in to cut your grass, or an electric company comes in, they forget to close the gate. So always check your gates. Sometimes even having a lock on the gate is very helpful. And with senior pets, that's another common area that we see a lot of senior pets go missing. It's important to realize that as a pet gets older, it's just like a person. They too become senile. They too become forgetful. So maybe when your pet was 3 years old, they made their way back to your house. But now, as they've become older, they forget their way and they will meander. We've had 2 dogs actually just in July in the St. Louis area that ended up in creeks. They were submerged in creeks, and thankfully kids were walking around and found these dogs. But the dogs had just shut down because they were terrified. They were old, and so it's really just awareness and helping one another. I mean, that's the whole purpose of what we do, where we really believe that one person can make a difference, but if we act as a community to help one another in these troublesome times, that the momentum is powerful. You can't stop that. So that's really what we're here to do, is develop a community sense and really arm people with information of what to do.
Which is awesome. Both Sarah and I, we were talking about, we're going to do a whole episode just on what you guys do. So it'll be an upcoming episode. We'll gather a bunch of information. We'll talk about you guys, go in more depth. So we'll definitely do that. Any other info that you might think of that could help any pet owner?
If I can, I'll mention where you can go to find information about us. If you're on Facebook, look us up at Missouri Lost and Found Paws. You can also go to our blog, which is MO Lost Found Paws, PAWS, .blogspot.com. We're also on Twitter at Mo Lost Found Paws. If you just type us in, you'll find us in Google. And we have a lot of information that we're constantly updating our blog with information. We also have a lot of pamphlets that we're starting to print up to get the word out, again, for a helping purpose. We are a charitable organization. We're just here to help.
Good to know. Well, thank you very much. Very informative. 2 individuals. It was an amazing opportunity. I sat there with them, even off air. I had Craig with me. We sat there a good 10 minutes before and a little bit after. I remember Glennda. Glennda was calling me out to judge.
Oh, this is funny, folks. So Glennda is up there with that microphone, and she did such a lovely job.
She did a great job emceeing.
She does. Chris, we need our judge. Time to judge. Chris, where are you? And I'm over at my table. I'm like, he's recording a podcast. She's like, that figures. All right, I guess we could do a couple more things in the meantime, and then we'll get to the judging competitions.
Sorry.
And I just look over at the Missouri Lost and Found Paws booth, and he's, squat down.
Oh, no, I'm literally sitting on the ground.
Oh, is that what it was?
I'm sitting on the ground just listening.
Microphone's up. I'm like, yep. There he is.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. It was not easy to get all this together, to get as much video as I could. I got some video that it wasn't really usable. Some things I could use with getting photos in and get all the content, to get everybody interviewed, to do all this and judge the event. I was everywhere. I mean, this, between the VODcast and this, I think you can kind of tell we were busy from the moment we got there to the moment we ended. It was, oh my gosh, crazy. All right. So, like we said, we will do a full podcast on them. They were absolutely amazing. They will be our leading subjects for next week.
It was great how they started out. I was just telling Chris this. Just starting out as a Facebook page trying to help find homes for the lost strays or whatnot.
Yeah, 3 years I think they've been doing this.
And then all of a sudden turns into a small nonprofit. And that's fantastic. They're based out of St. Louis.
Yep.
I'm always looking on their stuff just in case I can see a customer of mine. I've done that before.
Right.
I saw a customer's dog in the pound and called them up. Hey, look, I think did your dog get out recently? They're like, yeah. How'd you know? I saw it on Facebook. You might want to call the local, shelter.
Right.
And so they gave us a bunch of literature that we're going to go over. We're going to thoroughly read.
Yeah, give us a couple
ourselves.
days to kind of read and get, caught up, because obviously we just did Strut Your Mutt yesterday. I don't think we had much time to do anything except for sleep.
thanks to them, they helped us get our next show.
Yeah, well, it's always nice to find a good organization to talk about. It's not about us. It's
And
about
tips on what to do if your dog's lost, what to do if you found a dog, and such things like that.
right. All right, so moving on. Again, want to cover, I covered everybody that was there. The next person I spoke to was from the Rolla, Missouri Kennel Club. So I'm going to just pass over the mic to them. Or at least just play the soundbite, however you want to look at that. In here with the Rolla Kennel Club. Let me know all about you.
Okay, our meetings are the first Monday of every month at the Rolla Animal Clinic at 6:30. We love to have new members. Most of our members are showing. That's why a lot of them aren't here today. They're at the shows down in Purina. We have members that are active in therapy training, dog agility, conformation, rally, earth dog, you name it. We have a member that does it. And everyone's very eager to help others that are interested in that. So I don't know what else to say.
What is your main objective?
Our main objective is creating a dog that's easy to live with by proper training, and I don't know, just to make that dog that you don't have to rehome them, because a lot of times dogs get rehomed because of behaviors, and that's all it is. It's a behavior. So if you can change that behavior, you're going to change the likelihood of you having to rehome that dog. So that is one of the things that we are geared at to most, and that is educating people on the proper way to housebreak. We do puppy classes, which are going to start October 7th. We have a puppy class, beginners, and it's at 5:45 at Dr. Yankee's, and then that's 6 weeks. And then the following week, which would be October 14th, we are having a CGC. It's teaching a dog how to be a good citizen, so to speak, and that starts at 5:45, and it's like basic obedience, training, anything that you have an issue with is things that we can help you resolve during those classes. A lot of our members are always there, so there's lots of us there to help. Some of us have more experience with, say, certain type of behavior than others, so we're all there to help, and that's our goal, is that dogs don't have to constantly be rehomed, that they are trained in a way that no one's going to want to get rid of them. So that's kind of our goal, is to...
Is there a website that you guys have so people can look?
We do have a website, and it's Rolla, Missouri Kennel Club, and there's all kinds of information on there as well, so come join us.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, as always, it's always great to be able to put all organizations on the show, let them talk about what they do, and maybe if people are local here in town and they're thinking, you know what, I actually like to become part of them, volunteer with them. It's kind of like how we are with PCAWL. It gives you an opportunity, bless you. It gives you the opportunity to say, hey, I actually want to get involved with them.
Yeah, go to their Facebook page, read more about them.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure you can go Google and find out.
It's right here on Facebook. It's, great little page right on Facebook. I mean, you can look at them there, kind of get an idea. Of course, their website and everything is on there. Check them out.
Check out and see if you have your own local.
Yeah, I mean,
club.
you may actually like them enough to want to, pursue them or, get ideas to.
Well, remember, we do have listeners that are all over.
Very
so
true.
if you're in, Colorado or Arizona, Canada, up in Finland.
Yeah.
If you want
Brazil.
If you want to do something similar, you can either try to start up your own.
Yes.
I would imagine that would be quite difficult, but
I think if you get a couple people together, you could start anything.
Or
we started a podcast.
Yeah. Or find one in your area.
Is anybody still listening to us? Hello, is this on? Is this still on? All right. Well, I am just going to stop talking here because the MC of Strut Your Mutt is going to join us in the next interview. Glennda was a great MC. She had that microphone and was rocking it.
Yeah, it's not like she spoke enough that day. She had to do the interview, too.
I don't think she actually minded. It's funny. Jessie Queen was doing a demo. And as she's doing the demo, I was like, I'm going to go run over to her. I'm like, how long do you have? She goes, I think I have 2 minutes. I'm resting my voice. I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to strain your voice. Let's do your interview on the podcast. She's like, great. I have like 2 minutes of a break, and you're going to talk to me. You're going to make me talk on your microphone. Thanks. It was awesome. I love it. All right. Here you go, Glennda. This is you. All right. I am standing here with the president of PCAWL, Glennda. Tell us all about this event.
This event is Strut Your Mutt. This is our 13th annual year of doing this. We come out, we have a great day in the park with our dogs. PCAWL puts this on. We have sponsors who donate to the event. They provide us with silent auction items. And then we come out here and we play games with our dogs. We have contests like Best Mutt and Best Kisser. Ask Chris how those kisses went. And we have a few vendor booths set up, and we just come out and have a great day in the park with our dogs.
It has been fun. I've been called 1,000,000 times, I can tell. Thank you for the walk. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't even prepared for that, so thank you very much. Tell us anything else.
PCAWL does this. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We raise probably about 3/4 of our budget at this event. And we take that money and turn it back into our spay-neuter programs, our trap-neuter release program, our pet food pantry, our foster animals, medical care. Everything we do for the animals of Phelps County, we do because of our sponsors and people who participate in events like this.
And we do appreciate it, as we are one of your fosters.
Yes, that's an adorable kitten. Black's my favorite.
I love Rambo. We'll do an update on him this week as well. All right, anything in closing?
Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our participants. We're hoping to make it bigger and better next year. So, Chris, you're going to come back and help us out again, right?
I have already signed up to be the judge next year, too.
Great. It's been fun having you as the judge.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun with talking with Glennda. A lot of things that went on was like the back and forth banter. When she's on the mic, I would say something, she would say something. It was a lot of fun with that.
Other people would join in and throw her off a little, but you can never really throw off Glennda.
You really can't. I mean, you would almost think that I was on the mic.
No,
There was a couple times she's like, "Do you want the mic?" I'm like, "Nope. You've got the mic all. I have it all once a week. You get this. This is all you."
I had the mic the one year I went to Strut Your Mutt that the nail trims were an absolute flop.
I forget you had the mic.
I did. I went up on the mic once and I was just stuttering. Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
You weren't a professional podcaster at the time.
Well, that's true, and it was my first year at Rolla.
Yeah.
The only person that I knew there was Crystal, her and her husband.
That's right.
The only two people I knew there.
Right.
And Crystal worked with me, and she was doing bathing once.
Hey, at least you knew somebody. I didn't even know her. I knew one person. I was with you. I made the sign.
Oh, that's right. So it wasn't the fondest moment.
We were so far away from the event. I mean, it was so much different.
Yeah, we were kind of off the beaten path. The way they had it set up this year was brilliant.
Oh, I loved how it was this year. Well, yeah, you guys can all see it for yourself. We made that.
In the last few years that they did Strut Your Mutt, something important was going on in our lives we couldn't be a part of. So, luckily this year...
Well, it seemed like the last 3 years. I wasn't here last year. Your dad, a couple of years prior. There was a lot of things going on. It had been very hectic for us.
Yeah, it was pretty insane.
So, all right. Well, let's move on to our next guest. I will let her do all the talking. Great person for agility. I'm just going to, again, take a back seat to this. Great interview. Actually, it happened as I was talking with Glennda. I hit stop, and she called her over. So I'm just going to kind of stop talking again. All right. Tell us about Rally.
Okay, Rally Obedience is an AKC sport where the handler and the dog run a course that is delineated by signs. And each sign tells the handler and the dog what to do, what behavior to perform, and the judge determines the course. So you don't know each time that you go exactly what course you're going to run. That's what makes it fun, because it's undetermined each time what you're going to do. And there's 3 levels: novice, advanced, and excellent, that you can achieve. And you're allowed unlimited conversation with your dog, so you can cheer them on and encourage them. So that makes it a little bit easier, and it's a great introductory way to get into obedience, and makes it not quite as hard as those first levels where you have to be really quiet and have your dog pretty well trained for a silent run. And it's really great that AKC introduced this, because it gives people a new introductory way to get their dogs trained and have fun with them.
All right, well, thank you. And how long have you been in this?
Into competition obedience, about 17 years.
Okay. And how did you get into it?
I got a dog. I got a great big German Shepherd, and I thought, oh my goodness, I've gotten this great big dog. I better train him. And so I started doing work with him, and I learned about competition, and I never looked back. I've had so much fun with it.
Well, thank you for your time.
It's always a lot of fun to actually talk to somebody who is so well versed in agility and all these different ways of managing dogs and teaching and performing with them. Working with them, it's always kind of one of those I don't even know what to say kind of moments.
Okay, now I can talk about agility.
Yes, you can talk about agility. I was like, wait, are we off air? Oh no, we're not. We're recording.
It's great.
Sarah's like, I'm itching at the bits to talk about agility now.
No, it was
go on.
Here, it's kind of hard for me to keep track. What's great about it and the competition with the different types of rally agility or just silent agility, like she said, the silent runs. There's something for everybody, and it doesn't have to be just one way. It's not just picking your dog up, putting it on the table, showing it off to the judge, let it run around in a circle, and call it good.
Right.
It's something more. So I really enjoy seeing stuff like that. It was quite fun seeing her pup run around and Jesse's dog go around the course. So it was great. It was nice having that.
It was a lot of fun being able to be part of that. We go to Purina Farms every so often, but we actually never make it for the agility course. So this made it really nice to see it up close. And I gotta give Jessie Queen so much for this. She was definitely under the weather, and it was very hard for her to participate in this event. She brought all this equipment out there. She did all this stuff. I mean, how freaking amazing can one be? I am very impressed, and I can't thank her enough for bringing all this stuff out there. And anyway, moving on. Now our next guest is one of the actual original PCAWL members. David Aycock has been there since the beginning, and it's always amazing to hear, okay, well, what got you started, and we actually cover it. So sit back and enjoy.
I am standing with one of our PCAWL members.
I am David Aycock.
And how long have you been part of PCAWL?
Well, actually, we were part of the founding group about 9 years ago.
Really? Okay. I only know one of the other founding members, and she's not on the organization anymore. So that's really interesting. Okay, how did you get involved in PCAWL? How did it all start?
Well, we were friends with other people who were involved in other animal rescue organizations, like Animal Friends of the Auto Friends of the Animals, things like that, or people helping homeless animals, and we evolved out of that.
Okay, so it was just a merger of other groups that just came together?
Not such a merger, just a different direction. Our particular direction was to help out specifically at the shelter locally.
All right. And what is your favorite part about PCAWL?
Oh, gosh.
Hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, they are tough. I guess probably going and taking care of the animals from time to time. That's the best thing.
That is your favorite part. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, I have to thank David for actually giving me the time. One of the things I had actually said to everybody with PCAWL is I wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to talk on the podcast. Just because I'm talking to Glennda doesn't mean that I can't talk to everybody. I wanted to be able to have, equal opportunity for everybody. We're all there for this event, and
well, they put so much time, so much effort into it. They should have some kind of spotlight. I mean, all because they're not the board, president.
They
still play a vital importance. Every single one of them.
Huge, and obviously a couple of them were like, no, I don't really want to, and understandably, I understand that one so much. I probably wouldn't want to do it either if I was not doing this every week. So David, of course, David is married to Mary. Mary and David were working in the same area together. And, of course, I looked over at Mary and said, would you like to do the podcast? And David's reaction is, oh, yes, she would.
Just like a typical husband would.
David pushed wife into bus.
Well, it was like when we found out we were pregnant with Claire.
Yes.
And they couldn't do a regular ultrasound since I was so early
Oh, yes,
in.
yes.
And so they had to do the other
Internal?
type, an internal ultrasound. And so the nurse or whoever it was sitting there, I couldn't care less at the time. I was just excited I had a baby. I'm having a baby. She goes, would you like me to use that? And Chris goes, yes.
Yeah, I just jumped up and go, yes. And of course, her reaction, the nurse's reaction was,
it's her choice.
And let me tell you something, folks. The snottiness by that nurse, we changed hospitals that same day.
I looked at her and I said, he's the father. He has a choice in this factor. I'm sorry. I'm not the type saying it's my body. This is his child. This is his seed. He wants to see it. He's going to see it.
Yep. Yeah,
as long as he's not sticking his head up there.
Oh,
We're
gosh.
good.
Wow, awkward. And we went from awkward to creepy.
So this is the easiest way. The nurse was just so PO'd by us.
Yeah, well,
She was
no,
so
just
happy
me.
to be done.
That hospital did not. They were all women's only. They were
Which
terrible.
is weird because it was a Catholic hospital.
Which was a terrible hospital.
You know, it's a Catholic hospital. Normally they keep the men completely in the loop because
It was just a bad hospital.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, walking in, the moment we walked in, they treated me bad. We're completely off subject here. People are going, where are they going with this? We don't have a plan.
Sorry, this is the unpolished part of our podcast.
This is the unpolished part of our lives.
Right.
All right. So, anyways, moving back to the actual show. Here we go. This is Mary Aycock, and it's all because her husband made her. I'm standing here with Mary Aycock from PCAWL. Now, obviously, I just spoke with your husband. Let me know how long you've been part of PCAWL and what got you started.
Hey, Chris. I've been part of PCAWL since 2006, since it was founded. And what got me started is there's such great need in the community for spaying and neutering, helping the raw animal shelter, which is great, and just helping pets and animals in general.
Now, what is your favorite part about PCAWL?
Helping people and helping the overpopulation problem.
Okay. Let's see. Anything you want to end with?
Spay and neuter your pets and any other stray animals, please. It will help immensely.
Thank you very much.
I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed just watching what I do to you all the time.
They're just I like that they're a cute couple and very, reserved and soft spoken.
Very soft spoken.
But very knowledgeable.
Yes.
I mean, their knowledge can fill a room. And they were doing the registration up front and dealing with pretty much everywhere they're needed, they'll go. And it was really, really cool.
And unlike us, they're very quiet.
Yeah.
We are the opposite. We are always talking, obviously.
But at least we're not loud and annoying.
That is true. Yeah, actually, people actually swarm around us, it seems like, just to hear us do what we do. And again, folks, I don't know why.
It'd be curiosity, like, what you doing?
What you do?
It's like we're sitting here and people are staring at us going into the coffee shop like, what are you doing?
What you doing? Yeah. All right. Well, we have two more to go on. This next interview is from Debbie. Debbie is a PCAWL member. She's absolutely awesome. I have a lot of conversations with her. She was the reason why we actually did one of our VODcasts down at Tri-County. And, a lot of different great information comes from her. Obviously, everybody that's been a part of PCAWL have a great role. There's nobody who's a greater role than the other. It's awesome to be able to bring everybody out there so everybody has an opportunity to be heard. I wish everybody wanted to do it, but, obviously I don't blame you. So, all right, here we go, Debbie. You're up.
As one of our members of PCAWL, let us know who you are and how long you've been part of PCAWL.
I'm Debbie Dunstetter. I'm the secretary, and I got involved last March.
Okay. Now, what brought you to PCAWL?
Actually, a very sad event where a cat who I had rescued died during the hard winter, and I sort of made up my mind that I needed to do something bigger to help more animals, kind of in her honor.
And that's a noble way, because you're doing it for her. Now, what is your favorite part of PCAWL?
I really, really like the trap, neuter, release program because it is so essential that we stop the proliferation of unwanted cats and dogs. And of course, this is for the trap, neuter, release is what I'm talking about. It's for feral cats. And through no fault of their own, they are abandoned little guys, companion animals, left to their own devices, and they do suffer. And so this will reduce the suffering so much.
And it really does. Now, what other events do you participate in? What other things would you like everybody listening to the show, what would you like them to hear or know about so maybe they can look into and educate themselves?
Well, actually, we could use some more volunteers, and all people need to do is go online to www.PCAWL.org.
AL, isn't it?
AWL.
PCAWL. .com?
.org.
Sorry, .org. Even I make mistakes.
And on there, they can peruse our website, and there is a contact us, and they can read all about what we do. And if they find it within their hearts to want to give a little bit of time, that would be wonderful. We need more volunteers.
Very nicely said. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
And there was that. And now we're...
Well, Debbie would...
You want to tell the story about Debbie, because I wasn't aware. I obviously was running around, so I don't know this.
Well, Claire
I know it now, but...
Claire was with me, and she was doing so good. She was so good. And she goes, Mommy, can I go play on the playground? I look over, I'm like, oh, shoot.
Wow, I was really worried about where that was going. I was like, oh, gosh, I got to cut.
I was like, oh, no, there's a playground right there.
You know, that's what parks have. Parks have playgrounds.
Oh, my gosh. And I was like, honey, I'll let you go play after we're done here, okay? She looks up at me and puts her head down and says, okay, Mommy. And Debbie's like, if you want, I can take her over there. I said, oh, I don't want to put you out. You guys are doing so much here. I don't want you to feel like you're a babysitter. I said, oh no, give me a little bit of a break, and I'm not doing anything here right now. My part was pretty much done with. I'm like, okay. I looked at Claire, I'm like, Claire, you better be good. Don't act up. So Debbie was so sweet to take Claire over to the playground and let her do her thing, and they were over there for a good 20 minutes. It was pretty
Really? I didn't know that. I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of the actual postings on the VODcast. Some of them have started to come through, so it's just kind of cool.
So she went over there for a while. That's when I was able to go talk to Missouri Lost and Found Paws and really get to know those ladies. Before there was a huge line of nail trims again. But it was, she's a sweetheart. Really, really sweet. And like you said, really give a fire under our bum to go to Tri-County.
Yeah. Boy, that's loud.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing about sitting here is that, boy, the traffic, the trucks and the cars, they just have such a loud sound, an unnecessary loud sound.
Yeah, those diesels with no...
I don't think that was diesel. That was more like, I don't know, tank. Tank.
But thank you, Debbie, for all you've done. Thank you for going on the radio station, helping with pledges for Strut Your Mutt. That was a lot of work, and when you went on that, you were there for Strut Your Mutt. There was awesome.
Yeah,
good job.
You did a great job. I mean, your organization to everything. I know everybody played a role in that. But everything you did, awesome work. Well, we got one more interview, and then we will kind of talk amongst ourselves because nobody else is sitting here at the moment. But we'll give you the last interview of the day that I was able to get, which was Jessie Queen. And if you don't remember Jessie Queen, she had been on one of our early episodes that probably sounded awful. And but she sounded good, but the quality of what I put together probably wasn't as good. So anyways, enjoy Jessie Queen.
Hey, and I am standing here with Jessie Queen. Let us know all about everything. And I do have to say thank you very much for doing this. I know this is really difficult today.
Hi, I'm Jessie Queen. I have Canine Connections Dog Training. We offer basic obedience, competition obedience, rally, agility, CGC, which is the Canine Good Citizen, which is, to me, the first step in becoming a therapy dog also. So we offer a lot of different classes and just time to bond and have fun with your dogs. And today we came and did a couple of demonstrations for the PCAWL Strut Your Mutt. We did some agility demonstrations and we did a rally demonstration and just had a good time with everybody.
And it was enjoyable. We have it on video. We will post it on our VODcast for this episode, so you'll be on there. Now, everybody can refer back to, I think it was episode 5, 6, something like that you were on. So if anybody wants to hear a full episode, Jessie was on in one of our early eras, which was probably the worst sounding ones ever. So sorry for everybody. So anything new going on that you want us to know about?
Actually, yes. I'm going to be starting a couple of new classes here pretty soon. I've got a Canine Good Citizen class and a rally class.
Awesome.
That'll be starting on the 27th, 28th. I don't have my calendar with me. The next Sunday. So I believe it's 28th.
I think you're right.
I think it is. So it'll be a next Sunday class. We'll start a rally class and a Canine Good Citizen class. So if your dogs have got the basics obedience, they can come into either one. What else is going on? We've got puppies. We've got shows coming up. We've got a lot of stuff. Just busy time of the year.
And it's always awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, it was an amazing opportunity for Jessie to put herself out there. I'm still saying amazing job by her to be able to get up and do this. I mean, she didn't feel well, and she still came out. Talk about dedicated to her pledge. Very, very impressed. Obviously very proud that we were able to have her there. And, obviously, it wasn't just everybody that we interviewed. It was everybody I talked to. You spoke with many people. It was a great event. I really hope that this podcast, the VODcast, all can tie together and you can kind of get an idea of just what we were doing yesterday. It was a great day. I feel privileged to have been asked to have been as involved as I was.
And don't forget on how beautiful the day was.
Oh my gosh,
it was a little hotter than I would like it to be, but
it was supposed to rain. It was actually supposed to rain yesterday, and thunderstorms, and then it passed the PM, and then it never happened.
So it was a blessing that it wasn't so chaotic with the rain and such. I couldn't ask for a better day. I mean, I was a little bit warm because I was in my smock. I'm not going to wear a nice shirt and have the dogs claw up my shirt.
and I wore an actual jersey that I made for the actual podcast. So it was a shirt that I had put together. Not sure if I was happy with my first draft of my shirt, but I liked it. Anyway, it was an amazing. Thank you to everybody who was able to do an interview on the podcast. Really appreciate that you guys were part of this.
The silent auction went great.
It did.
It looked beautiful. It was displayed very nicely. The door prizes were awesome. The gifts for winning the contest were great. All the donations, all the folks that were there.
And did they ever give out a lot? My gosh.
Well, luckily PCAWL had a lot of people donate.
Yes.
And it's amazing what a community can do when it pulls together to help one particular cause.
And you know what, if you want to, obviously when you watch the video, you'll see all the people that were involved, all the sponsors that were involved. I'm currently sporting my Strut Your Mutt t-shirt that I got yesterday. Thank you, Glennda. I'm sporting it while we're recording this episode, so it's kind of entertaining to wear it and talk about this, so it's kind of cool. I don't know.
Awesome. It was great when we first got there. And, Craig's shy.
Oh yeah.
He's shy.
He's a shy boy.
And he really opened up when he saw Mrs. Gorkow out there with Oscar.
Yes.
One thing that's been real sad for us is that
Dozer
passed away.
Yeah, that was really sad seeing Oscar there this week and no Dozer.
With no Dozer. It was incomplete.
It was. It really was.
Dozer and Oscar, both Great Danes. And when I say Great Danes, they're one of the largest Great Danes I've ever seen.
Yes, actually Oscar won tallest dog contest last year.
Yes.
He did not participate, I don't think, this
No,
year.
Wendy said that they
That's
had
right.
to go home because Oscar was getting tuckered out.
Yes.
Being the shiny black coat that he had.
That's right.
And his age, it's best for him to go and relax in the cooler area. He just got tuckered out too quickly.
Right.
But Dozer, man, we had to put him in the largest place that we could when they got groomed. Craig had to go wash him in a back run where we have the cold and hot water, and wash him there where it runs off into the gutter area. But he just they're twins, you know.
Yeah,
Oscar's missing an eye, but Dozer was the loud one. We can always hear him barking.
I would go up to the actual where he was at, and I'd be playing with them, and he would be woo, 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 woo.
It was awesome. And then,
Oh, man, I love them.
And then found out that Dozer had bone cancer, and at his age, to put him through the treatments and keep him on pain pills for the rest of his life was just too much for a dog to handle. And the humane way is to make sure he's out of his misery. And you know, we miss him. I did a little tribute to him on Shadowwood's Facebook. But when Craig saw Oscar coming up, he just ran. He looked at me, and I'm like, "Go ahead, go say hi." And so he walked as fast as he could over to to Oscar, and just gave him all the love in the world. Really helped Craig come out of his shell.
But it also did not hurt to see all of the love and attention that we got from everybody. I mean,
we saw a lot of our customers.
But we got a lot of love from everybody there yesterday. I mean, I'm going to say it from my perspective. Since starting doing the show, 46 episodes in, I honestly figured out yesterday, I really do know now why I'm doing this. Yesterday was really where I understand now the level of appreciation for what we're doing.
Right. We actually, I believe, ended up with quite a few customers. A lot of people are like, well, I need to hold the dog. My dog's not going to like this. Most places can't do it, so do you mind giving it a try? Sure, no problem. And Craig and I were there. The owner didn't have to hold her. You know, with proper holding techniques, got the nails trimmed without a problem. So they asked for a card. I got a cat customer out of it.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
figure that one. And they're like, "You guys groom cats?" Yeah, I groom them. I give them haircuts.
We foster them.
Bathe them, nail trim, ear cleaning, clean out in between the eyes. I'll do it all. Even though on my app, a lot of people have Time Hop.
Yep.
4 years ago, I posted, "I am not grooming another cat."
I remember when you posted that
Again.
too.
And here I am. I've got another 5 or 6 cats under my belt since that post. But it was so nifty. Just everybody was happy. There wasn't a foul moment.
No, it was just a wonderful day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the worst part of the day was when people were just a little frustrated about the dog sizes, one being smaller than the other, and it's just, you know. But that's the competitive nature in it. Yeah. So I don't blame everybody. I mean, I'm as competitive as the next, so I get that. But what an amazing day, you know.
We got some great photos with you giving kisses to the the Doxy. That was cute.
The Doxy was adorable.
And then a little boxer, she...
Oh, boy, that boxer was just... would not let go. It was holding on to me, continuing to lick. I was just like, I would have stayed. I just, you know.
There's so many other dog lickings
so
to
many
get.
things. It was just, it was an event that...
And that boxer actually needs a home.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I will be posting pictures up on Shadowwood's Facebook.
Again, I'm hearing a lot of this stuff now because I wasn't around.
Actually, the woman who is trying to find this pup a home is a bather at the salon I used to work at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, real nice lady. She loves this dog to death and back. She doesn't want to find this boxer a new home. She wants to be able to be there and keep her, but it's just so much for her to handle, especially with a full-time job of being a bather.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows, she might eventually become a groomer. But there's just so much going on in her life, and she wants to find a home where every once in a while she can visit. or say hello, or if they will come in and get the dog bathed by her over at her shop and stuff like that.
We'll post information on Shadowwoods.
Yeah, Shadowwoods Facebook. I have quite a few photos. The dog is gorgeous. It's sweet. A little hyper. Needs a little more leash training, but it's not one of those boxers that are jumping up in the air and spinning.
It was I love that dog. I mean, obviously we have no more room in the pet motel for us. But.
All right, and the boxer was great too. As she was there, I was analyzing the dog so I can come up with enough information. The dog got along with everybody. It didn't snip, didn't growl. You know, a couple dogs.
I saw one, and I had one, but one out of all those. Jeez.
So most of them were real well mannered. Well, this boxer was very well mannered. Didn't care there was a dog sitting next to it. Very sweet.
Are you kidding? It was more like, hi, I'll be your friend.
But so I'll get that information up later in case somebody wants to. Yeah. Way it's gonna work is that you'll send Shadowwood a Facebook or text me, since I have that text to groomer thing going on. Send me a text. I'll get your information. And I'll hand it over to her.
Okay.
And then she'll contact the person who's interested in it.
All right. Or you can always send an email to thegroomernextdoor@yahoo.com as well. All right. Well, let's close out this week's episode with update on Rambo.
Rambo.
The Rambo update.
Rambo.
Well, let me start off by saying yesterday I'm editing the whole movie together. I'm in early stages. I think I was in the first couple seconds. And Rambo decides to get on my MacBook. And I go to take him off, and he takes the number 7 off of my computer.
Totally pops it off, pops the mechanism off.
I'm like, oh my gosh, my MacBook. And
brand new computer.
I'm freaking out. Luckily, Sarah was able to fix it. I couldn't even think about it. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm panicking.
I say thank God for YouTube. Because I was able to pull up a video.
I watched that video. That thing made no sense. I could perform open heart surgery better than I could putting that number back on. You figured out that the actual mechanism went in the key, not on the computer.
No, it went on the computer first, then the key. Then you just whoop.
I didn't even understand that.
But when it comes off, the key comes off with the mechanism.
Yes, it's okay.
You would think that the mechanism would go back in the key, go back on the computer. No, it goes mechanism, back on computer, then key.
I'll tell you, folks. If you work on any kind of regular PC, and you go to Mac, you'll understand the difference. Or if you go Mac to PC, well, that's an easy transition. But oh boy! So thank you for fixing that. Thank you, Rambo, for pulling it off. Oh my gosh, you gave me a heart attack.
April put it into words that I wasn't able to put Rambo in. I took a video of Rambo playing with my purse, my handbag, and not playing with all the toys I bought him. I'm thinking, okay, I'll buy him these cool toys that got bells on it and feathers and they roll. No, he wants to play with my purse. Well, she says, I love this age of kittens. They're like little kangaroos.
Kangaroos.
That's perfect. He bounces like a kangaroo. He bounces and turns and flips, and he stands up on his back legs, kind of like a kangaroo. So he's not actually standing. He's kind of like leaned back on his back legs with his paws up, kind of swatting at you.
Yeah.
He's driving our dogs insane.
Actually, it's starting to get... Callie's like, look, I'm not as young as you. I can't run around as much. It's kind of having Claire.
And Rambo is everywhere. He wants our human food.
Oh.
Which we have to be very careful, because now the little booger can actually climb. He climbs up the back of our couch.
That's not the worst. That's still not the worst of the Rambo update. I find Rambo somewhere in the bed every morning.
And then you hear, meow!
Yes.
Meow!
That's usually how I find him.
And we're patting the sheets, like, where are you? And then all of a sudden he's like under a pillow somehow.
Oh.
And it's been a little difficult. We have to kind of put him in our washroom at night. We're still fighting ringworm pretty bad. Taking care of ringworm on the cat is a lot worse than take care of ringworm on a person. On a person, it goes away relatively quickly, but you have to keep up treatment for 4 weeks.
Right.
on this cat, it's just spreading. So I'm going to call the veterinarian that he saw originally. I've talked to Kim about it and find out. I think it was Dr. Chitwood.
But that sounds right. That actually does sound right.
Call him up and see what else I can do. I'm doing the antifungal baths. I'm doing the cream. He's growing so quickly. And he's a heavy little dude.
He is.
He eats and eats.
He does.
And eats.
Well, I find him in the actual other room where the cat food is. He's eating that. I find him on top of where the dog food is, trying to go into that. And it's like, no, this is dog food, not cat food. Yeah, I don't care.
And then if we set our plate down on any of our tables, not just one, but any of our tables, he finds a way of getting up there.
Yes.
Since he can't jump yet, he's not at that. Not like Callie can jump on top of the refrigerator in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
He finds a way up there, and if you're not careful, he is 2 paws deep in your food.
Yes, he is.
Whether it's a sandwich, whether it's just mashed potatoes or mac and cheese, his paws are in there, and he's face deep in this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we had to pull him out, I had to clean him off, and now we've gotten to the point where we put the food up on the counter, where there is no way of him climbing up because it's all real slick surfaces.
And it's a little too high for him at this point. I mean, he can't even go from couch to coffee table. He will sometimes jump from couch to coffee table and just barely miss the table and just thunk on the floor. And, you know, he just kind of looks, he kind of rolls over, looks up, and goes, damn, I missed it again.
Or he shakes it off like nobody saw that.
Yeah, nobody saw it. Well, at least there's no camera phone out. They didn't catch that on film.
So he is
Why do we still call it film, by the way? There is no film anymore. It's all digital. Why do we still say we caught it on film? Sidebar.
Because we were born in the 80s?
I think that there's even teenagers that still say film.
I don't know.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
He's growing very good. His eyes are very clear. He's got a very, like I said, a very healthy appetite. He is going to make somebody a very happy person once he finds his forever home.
Yes.
It might be actually longer than November until he's adopted out, because I don't know how long this ringworm's going to take to clear up.
Yeah, I don't know. And folks, Kittenado 2 is coming up.
Yes.
So take a look at Phelps County Animal Welfare League. Find out when that is. I don't have that right in front of me. As you talk, I can pull that up.
Well, the first Kittenado was a huge success.
So was the first Sharknado. Sorry, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Sharknado, the second one. Kittenado, the second one. It's hopefully going to be just as big as a turnout. Hopefully we can get some forever homes here soon for all the kittens that need it. Be in front of Family Center again. We are going to try our hardest to get ourselves there. Claire has soccer coming up now.
Actually, she starts soccer practice today for you guys. It's Monday that she starts soccer practice, starts soccer itself on Saturday. So I think that's going to be up. I think that Kittenado is actually Saturday of next week, but I could be wrong. I'm completely lost on my days.
So we might be able to go later and try to help out, talk to people, educate people. Having Rambo has really helped our education level on cats.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was pretty minimal. Anything aside of grooming, it was minimal.
My brain minimal.
But, man, this Rambo, I love him to death. I hope I'm going to be very, very meticulous on which home he goes to. I probably will have no control over it.
I'm hoping that we have none.
PCAWL is sponsoring the kitten. He probably should have another vet visit here soon to make sure everything's going right. We're taking care of him the way we're supposed to take care of him.
He's still alive, so we're doing one thing right.
And he's driving us bonkers like every kitten should.
Yes, he is. Well, are we done?
I think we are.
I think we're done. All right, everybody. Well, I guess this is my final say of this is Strut Your Mutt 2014 concluded.
Can't wait to be there in 2015.
I cannot wait. So, anyways, if you have any time, you want to look at the video. It's 12 minutes long. It's not a long video. Also, I know people don't want to sit there and watch, an hour's worth of a movie.
Yeah, there's some parts where people are speaking and the music's going in the background. It's because there was so much going on around, you cannot pick up what they were saying.
Yeah, there was 2 different parts where, you know what?
And it just so happened to be the trainers.
Yes, with Jessie, I didn't have a mic. We didn't have a mic on her, so it was just really wouldn't work out. And then with Mike, he had a microphone, but things were just kind of, there was audible sounds around it. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to take away everything. Plus, you know what? The whole part of the video is not so that you can have been there yesterday. It's so that you can see what's coming up to the next one and the next one and the next one. It's a great opportunity for you to see.
Great little teaser. Come on down 15.
Yeah.
I dare you to come on down to Strut Your Mutt 15.
Come on over. So if that helps, great. And I really enjoyed doing it. Took me forever, it seems like, and I had to leave the couch to do this. Why did I leave the couch? Anyway, I missed the couch already. Well,
we still gotta go to Walmart after this.
Yay!
Return Claire's soccer
or shin guards, yes.
And get new ones.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm Chris Green. Have a PETastic week.
And I'm Sarah Green, making sure everybody realizes life is short. Play with your pet.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go. It's my bedtime.